What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise.
Seems like yesterday when we were rooting for Hardin and Tessa and hoping they'd end up together. And here we are, more than a year later, and we're still obsessed with this freaking movie. And guess what we found now? We found out one little secret that's going to completely change the course of After We Collided. And of course, we have the scene where Anna Todd appeared in the movie. So enough stalling. Let's look at the 10 unbelievable after details you've never noticed. Let's dive right in, shall we? Number 10. Anna's style was influenced by Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, and 50 Shades of Grey. If you've ever thought this movie bears some similarities with movies you've seen before, you're not wrong. When writing After, Anna Todd was inspired by many movies and books, including Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, and 50 Shades of Grey. And one of the main characteristics of all of these is the fact that they've all started out as books, and then there was a movie adaptation made for them. For example, the movie adaptation for Wuthering Heights was made way back in 1939. The one for Pride and Prejudice was made in 2005. And of course, 50 Shades of Grey has had the most recent movie adaptation, which was in 2015. That's why, if you thought all of those love scenes had some resemblance to 50 Shades of Grey, especially the lake scene, now you know it wasn't a coincidence.
How did you even get in here? Okay, can you please go out into the hall so I can get dressed?
Don't flatter yourself.
Number 9. The book Hardin reads to Tessa in the library is actually Wuthering Heights. The one book that has inspired Anna Todd to write her famous novel was Wuthering Heights, which she had gotten as a child. The story allured her and she couldn't stop reading the book. When she heard all of those tales about One Direction, she decided to write a love story in which she would feature Harry Styles. Wuthering Heights was the book that marked her writing career, and during the filming of the famous After scene, where Hardin and Tessa got locked inside the library and Hardin reads Tessa a book, Anna Todd brought the original Wuthering Heights book she had at home ever since she was a child. And during one interview, she told people that she had to steal her own book because they forgot to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But in reality, they forgot to give her back the book when filming was over. However, we personally wouldn't call that stealing, she just took what was already hers.
You could draw me to fire. You could draw me to water. You could draw me to the gallows. You could draw me to any death.
Number 8. All of Hardin's tattoos are fake. Whoa, really? We didn't expect bad boy Hardin to be a virgin when it came to tattoos. Sadly, it's true. All of the tattoos on Hero's character Hardin are actually fake. And when hero Fiennes Tiffin was talking about this with an interviewer, he told him that it usually takes the artist between 1 and 5 hours to actually draw all those tattoos on his body. And if you paid close attention, you will notice that Hardin has 20 tattoos all over his body. The ink includes 3 monkeys, letters, a birdcage, a tree, an infinity symbol, a book, a snake, and much, much more. But fans wanted to know whether or not he wanted to get any of the ink that his character Hardin had, and Hero said that he was thinking about getting the one with the birdcage and the birds flying away. That's a perfect depiction of freedom.
I had to take care of her alone, but no one was there for me, you know?
Number 7. They tried to change the look of Hardin Scott. Even though back in 2014 One Direction was all the rage, when they were making the movie, they wanted to move as far away from them as possible. You might already know that Anna Todd used the fame of 1D to fuel the readability of her first chapter, but many of her fans were extremely critical of the fact that she did so. More on that in the next chapter. So, she didn't really want her movie to be closely associated with One Direction or the characters, and even though the names of the characters were identical with the names of the members of One Direction when she released the first book, she changed all of that. She drastically changed their appearance, and that's why Harry Styles became Hardin Scott. At least she kept his initials.
What are you doing?
I'm going swimming.
Number 6. Fans hated the fact that Hardin was associated with Harry Styles. Here, we'll tell you a little more about the reasons why Anna Todd decided to change the characters' names in her book. Initially, all of the names of the characters in her Wattpad chapters were Harry, Liam, Zane, Louis, and Niall. They all had tattoos except for Liam, who was Tessa's best friend. Upon releasing the books, she found out that she couldn't use their names. For legal reasons, she had to change all of them, and that's why in the books, as well as the movies, they are completely different than the ones she used initially. And don't forget the fact that many fans hated her for using Harry's name and portraying him as a bad boy who doesn't really care about girls' feelings. They even created the special hashtag #LeaveHarryOut of After movie.
Tessa, let's just start over. Just reset and we can be...
What? Friends?
Well, why not?
Number 5. The lake scene was hell to shoot. We all know the lake scene is one of the hottest scenes in the entire movie. It's where Hardin showed Tessa his favorite place of all, and it's the scene where we got to witness one of their most memorable kisses in the entire movie. But what you probably didn't know about this scene is that it was exhausting to shoot. Swimming and acting at the same time is pretty difficult, especially when you're out of breath. So that's why Hero used flippers most of the shooting. That's because when he did, he could almost stand, which made acting that much easier. Even though it was easier, it doesn't mean it was without challenges. While tiptoeing for hours, he got numerous cramps in his leg, but he says he's a trooper and shot the scenes despite all the problems.
We're leaving.
Perfect. I need a ride.
It's not a good time. You can ask Zed for a ride.
Dude, we literally just got here.
Josephine Langford auditioned for the role of Molly. Initially, Josephine Langford didn't even think about auditioning for the role of Tessa. The only role she had her mind on at the time was the one of Molly, Hardin's friends with benefits. Besides, Julia Goldani Tells was supposed to play the role of Tessa in After. When the project was in its formative years, Julia announced that she would be obliged to abandon the project because her schedule was completely booked. Then the casting directors heard about Josephine Langford. She auditioned via Skype, and then they asked her to go meet in person. With a 16-hour notice, Josephine booked the first flight from Australia to Washington and made it just in time for the meeting. The rest, as they say, is history.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3. Professor SOTO. Remember that beautiful blonde professor that held the lecture about the book Pride and Prejudice? Well, that lecture sparked the initial conversation between Tessa and Hardin, and they both argued on the topic of, surprise, surprise, relationships. Hardin said that Bennett was looking for excitement anywhere she could get it, basically throwing herself at Darcy, to which Tessa strongly disagreed. She said that it was all in Darcy's head that Bennett wanted to be with him. It seems like these two had some unresolved issues. Well, if you've read the book, you'll notice the directors have changed the sex of the teacher. In the book, Professor SOTO is a man, but in the movie, the professor is a woman. Now, how about that? She was also the one to give Tessa Hardin's personal homework. Number 2. Anna Todd appeared in the movie. Watching numerous interviews with Josephine Langford and Hero Fiennes Tiffin, you'll notice that Anna Todd is pretty close with both of the stars. They usually take pictures together and they even hang out together. But did you notice that one scene where Tessa finally goes to apply for a job at Vance Publishing after she had just found out that Hardin only wanted to sleep with her in the video? Do you remember that lady that, of course you don't? Here, let us show you who we mean. You see that lady that's holding the door for Tessa? Well, that's the actual author of the book. Because she was so close with everyone on the team, she just had to appear somewhere. Number 1. Vance Publishing is owned by Hardin's biological father. We said that Tessa applied for a job at Vance Publishing, but did you know that Vance Publishing was actually owned by Christian Vance, the biological father of Hardin? What? You don't believe us? Then listen to this. When Christian was in college, he met with Ken. Ken had a girlfriend named Trish, and his friend Chris had feelings for her. As they continued hanging out, Trish and Chris became really close friends. They even had an ongoing affair whenever Ken was out of town. When Trish became pregnant, Chris knew that the baby was his, but Trish lied to him to protect her marriage. She even faked the DNA results and made it seem like Ken was the actual father. Chris eventually gave up and started Vance Publishing, the same Vance Publishing where Tessa got a job. Now take that! And on that note, we end this video. But hey, do you know some other after movie details we forgot to mention here? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys!